Romans 6:16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness. Now I'm going to go to my Bible. I have a King James too, so I can give this better context. This is not full context. Some verses are like that in the Bible. I like them. There's certain verses I like to quote and think of and meditate on, and they are by themselves standalone verses. But this one I don't think is, because right after that he says, "But God be thanked that ye were the servants of sin. Ye were, but ye have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered you." So is he saying that now the people reading this that he's talking to, now they obey the law? That's right? They all obey the law. They don't sin no more. None of them sins anymore. No one sins anymore. We only obey the law. Now this is talking about a mindset. How you see yourself. Do you see yourself as a person who is taking care of your sin? Because if you see yourself that way, you are about sin. Because whether or not you are indulging your flesh or you are trying to control your flesh, you are all about your flesh. And your flesh is all about sin. So you are a servant to your flesh, even if your whole drive and focus is stop sinning. It's all about your flesh. It's all about you. Or are you obedient to faith, to believing the one that called you clean, that called you a saint, who made you a citizen of heaven? That's what it's talking about. It's not talking about making sure you obey the law. If that's what it is, then there is no new covenant. I know there's a lot of people that believe there's no new covenant, and I don't think that our friend Bible First believes that. He understands there is a new covenant, but we must get this straight. There's a great contrast. There is no mixing or melding. The old covenant is gone. I made that clear reading from Hebrews 10 today. It is gone. It's going away, and the old covenant is only useful in the way that it guides us towards the new, but it has no purpose in our lives. That's why Paul says in Romans 10:4, "For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone who believes," to all who believe. So it's not the end of the law for everything, but you're not going to get righteous through the law. There's so many quotes Paul has in this. I can only paraphrase most of them. I know Romans 10:4, but another one he says, if there was a law that led to righteousness, then life would come through the law. But life never came through the law. Death came through the law. That's why the law, as he says in 2 Corinthians 3, the law is the ministry of death. It's the ministry of condemnation. That's what the law is. That is the only thing that can come from the law. That's it. It's grace. Grace and truth is the only thing that leads to life. And that's what he was full of. That's who our God is. So when he says this, that we are either slaves to sin or slaves to righteousness, he's talking about, what do you believe? Do you believe in your ability to get the sin out of your life? Well, you're a slave of sin. Do you believe in the fact that the eternal God gave his life to take away your sin, literally, so that it does not exist anymore between the two of you? Then you are a slave of his. You have to be, because you can't do anything about your sin. Only he can.